Hello everybody, welcome to my channel.
Leslie Cheung, the timeless icon of Asian cinema and music. Leslie Cheung Kwok-wing was not just a superstar, he was a cultural phenomenon who redefined the meaning of artistry, identity, and expression across Asia. Born on September 12, 1956, in Hong Kong, Cheung became one of the most beloved figures in the entertainment industry, remembered for his charisma, talent, and courage to live authentically in a time of conservatism. A Star is Born. Cheung's journey to stardom began in the late 1970s when he participated in a Hong Kong talent competition, launching his career in music and television. By the early 1980s, he had become one of Cantopop's leading figures, with hits such as Monica, Chase, and Stand Up defining a generation. His music blended emotional depth with lyrical sophistication, earning him millions of devoted fans across Asia. Cinematic brilliance. While his musical achievements alone would have cemented his legacy, Leslie Cheung's ventures into acting elevated him to international acclaim. He starred in some of Hong Kong cinema's most acclaimed films, showcasing a remarkable versatility and emotional depth. His role in Wong Kar-wai's Days of Being Wild, 1990, established him as a serious actor, while his haunting performance in Farewell My Concubine, 1993, brought him global recognition. The film, which won the Palme d'Or at Cannes, remains a cinematic masterpiece. Its portrayal of identity, loyalty, and love mirrored many of the personal struggles Cheung faced in real life. Cheung also captivated audiences in Happy Together, 1997, another Wong Kar-wai film that boldly explored a same-sex relationship. His tender and raw performance broke barriers in Asian cinema, earning him respect for his artistic courage and emotional honesty. A style and cultural icon beyond his art, Leslie Cheung was a trailblazer in fashion and identity. Known for his androgynous elegance and daring fashion choices, he blurred the lines between masculine and feminine aesthetics long before gender fluidity became part of mainstream discourse. Whether performing in a flowing cape or sleek tuxedo, he radiated confidence and grace that inspired countless artists and fans alike. Cheung was also one of the first major Asian stars to openly discuss his same-sex relationship, displaying courage and authenticity in an era when LGBTQ+ visibility was rare in the entertainment industry. His openness helped pave the way for future generations to embrace their true selves. A tragic farewell. On April 1, 2003, the world was shaken by the news of Leslie Cheung's passing. His death by suicide at the age of 46 left fans heartbroken and marked one of the darkest days in Asian pop culture history. Yet even in his absence, his artistry, kindness, and legacy continue to resonate deeply. Enduring legacy. More than 2 decades later, Leslie Cheung's influence remains timeless. His songs are still played in concerts, his films studied by cinephiles, and his persona cherished by new generations discovering his work. Tributes pour in annually on his birthday and the anniversary of his passing, reaffirming his eternal place in the hearts of millions. Leslie Cheung's life was a symphony of courage, creativity, and emotion. He dared to be himself in a world that often asked for conformity, and in doing so, he became immortal. In the words of one of his most famous songs, "Wind blows on, and so does the spirit of Leslie Cheung, forever timeless, forever free." Musical evolution and legacy. In Cantopop, Leslie Cheung's musical journey was one of constant reinvention and artistic courage. When he first entered the Hong Kong music scene in the early 1980s, Cantopop was dominated by safe, romantic ballads and traditional showmanship. Cheung, however, brought a new kind of emotional vulnerability and theatricality to the genre. His songs were not just melodies, they were performances of identity, love, and longing. His breakthrough came in 1984 with the album Leslie, featuring the smash hit Monica. The song's upbeat tempo and Western-inspired arrangement revolutionized Hong Kong's pop music scene, marking the beginning of a new era in Cantopop. Over the next decade, Cheung released a string of successful albums including Summer Romance, 1987, Virgin Snow, 1988, and Red, 1996. Each reflecting his evolution as both an artist and an individual. Cheung was also known for his powerful live performances. His concerts were more than musical events, they were theatrical experiences, filled with elaborate costumes, dramatic lighting, and emotional storytelling. His 1997 Leslie Cheung Passion Tour was especially groundbreaking, with Cheung appearing in gender-fluid fashion and openly expressing themes of love and freedom. In these performances, he defied conventions, celebrated individuality, and brought an artistry to Cantopop that was ahead of its time. A fearless actor, Leslie Cheung's acting career was as daring and distinguished as his music. He worked with some of the greatest directors in Asian cinema, including Wong Kar-wai, Chen Kaige, and John Woo. His range allowed him to shift effortlessly between genres, romance, action, historical drama, and psychological thrillers, each time delivering performances that felt deeply authentic. In John Woo's A Better Tomorrow, 1986, Cheung played Kit, a righteous policeman torn between duty and brotherhood, showcasing his intensity and sensitivity. In Rouge, 1987, opposite Anita Mui, he portrayed a ghostly lover whose tragic romance transcended time, a performance that remains one of the most iconic love stories in Hong Kong cinema. But it was Farewell My Concubine, 1993, that defined him internationally. As Cheng Dai, a Peking opera performer caught between art, politics, and forbidden love, Cheung gave a mesmerizing portrayal of identity and desire. The film not only won global acclaim but also solidified his reputation as an actor of rare depth and nuance. His collaboration with Wong Kar-wai in Happy Together, 1997, was another landmark moment. The film's candid depiction of a gay relationship between two men in Argentina was bold, tender, and revolutionary for its time. Cheung's performance as Ho Po Wing was raw and complex, embodying both the pain and beauty of love that can't find peace. An advocate of authenticity beyond fame, Leslie Cheung's greatest legacy was his authenticity. In an industry obsessed with image, he was unapologetically himself. He never denied his sexuality and often spoke openly about love and individuality. At a time when LGBTQ+ issues were taboo in Asia, Cheung's openness was an act of quiet defiance and immense bravery. He once said, "If you don't have love, you don't have anything." This philosophy guided not only his art but his life. He stood as a beacon for those who felt unseen, using his platform to inspire compassion and self-acceptance. Immortal in memory even after his passing in 2003, Leslie Cheung's presence remains deeply felt. Every year, fans across Hong Kong, China, Japan, and beyond gather to honor his memory with concerts, candlelight vigils, and film screenings. His songs are reinterpreted by younger artists, and his influence can be traced in the confidence and creativity of today's performers. In 2010, CNN ranked him among the top 5 most iconic music legends of Asia. In 2023, on the 20th anniversary of his death, a large tribute concert was held in Hong Kong to celebrate his art and his enduring spirit. Leslie Cheung's story is not one of tragedy alone. It is the story of a man who lived with passion, who challenged norms, and who taught millions that beauty lies in being true to oneself. His voice still echoes in the hearts of those who loved him, a reminder that legends never truly die. Personal life and the man behind the legend. Behind the dazzling lights of the stage and screen, Leslie Cheung was known for his warmth, intelligence, and deep sensitivity. Friends and colleagues often described him as gentle and thoughtful, yet fiercely perfectionist in his craft. He approached both music and acting with a seriousness that reflected his belief that art could transform hearts. Cheung was the youngest of 10 children, born into a middle-class family in Hong Kong. His parents divorced when he was young, and he was sent to England to study at age 13. The years abroad shaped his worldview. He became fluent in English, developed a cosmopolitan sensibility, and was influenced by Western pop culture. After returning to Hong Kong in the late 1970s, he pursued a career in entertainment, driven by ambition and a love of performing. Despite his fame, Cheung valued privacy. He maintained close friendships with artists such as Anita Mui, Tony Leung, and Wong Kar-wai, but was careful about his personal life being publicized. Yet when he did choose to speak, his honesty was striking. Cheung's long-term relationship with Daffy Tong Hak Tak was one of quiet devotion. The two were together for nearly 2 decades. And though Cheung never made an official coming-out announcement, he acknowledged Tong as his most beloved person. In interviews, he expressed gratitude for having found unconditional love, a rare admission in the entertainment industry of that era. Their relationship was one of mutual respect and loyalty, enduring through both fame and hardship. After Cheung's passing, Tong remained a guardian of his memory, attending tributes and maintaining his legacy with dignity and love. A voice for the marginalized. Cheung's openness and courage made him an icon not only in entertainment but also in the LGBTQ+ community across Asia. In the 1990s and early 2000s, conversations about sexuality were still considered taboo in many parts of the region. Yet Cheung, through his art and personal truth, helped break that silence. By taking on roles such as Cheng Dae in Farewell My Concubine and Ho Po Wing in Happy Together, he humanized queer identities in cinema. His performances weren't about shock value, they were about empathy, love, and the complexity of human emotion. He showed audiences that love transcends gender, and in doing so, he changed the cultural landscape. Even off-screen, his presence challenged norms. During his 2000 Passion Tour, he wore a glittering costume designed by Jean-Paul Gaultier that blended masculine and feminine aesthetics. It was a bold statement of individuality in a conservative society, and fans celebrated his courage. Cheung's confidence inspired many to embrace their own authenticity, earning him lasting respect as a cultural pioneer. The final years. In his later years, Cheung continued to explore creative projects, though he also struggled with depression. Despite his inner pain, he remained active, releasing music and performing with his characteristic grace. His final album, Everything Follows the Wind, 2002, carried a tone of introspection, with lyrics that seemed to reflect both melancholy and acceptance. On April 1, 2003, Leslie Cheung tragically took his own life, leaving behind a note expressing gratitude to his loved ones and acknowledging his battle with emotional distress. The news sent shockwaves through the world. Tens of thousands of fans gathered in Hong Kong to mourn him, their grief echoing across Asia. His funeral became not just a farewell, but a celebration of a man who had touched millions with his honesty and artistry. A legacy that lives forever. 2 decades later, Leslie Cheung's influence endures. His music continues to be reissued. His films are screened at retrospectives, and younger generations continue to discover his brilliance. His name is often mentioned alongside other global icons such as David Bowie and Freddie Mercury, artists who defied conventions and reshaped cultural boundaries. Cheung remains a symbol of artistic freedom, self-expression, and emotional truth. Statues, murals, and exhibitions in Hong Kong and mainland China honor his memory. In 2023, on the 20th anniversary of his passing, Hong Kong hosted Miss You Much Leslie, a large-scale tribute concert attended by stars, fans, and friends who grew up inspired by him. As his song, Chase, reminds listeners, the wind continues to blow, a fitting metaphor for his enduring spirit. Leslie Cheung was more than a performer, he was a voice for love, courage, and individuality in a world that often demands conformity. His story continues to resonate because it speaks to something universal, the longing to live truthfully and beautifully. And in that sense, Leslie Cheung's light will never fade.
Bye bye. Thanks for watching. Bye.